Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, July 10th. It's 4:25 p.m. We have another live trading video with you from Trader Jim. Another really solid performance in spite of a big gap up in the market. Jim mentioned in the video he wasn't sure why the market traded up. A good place to refer to news to see why something happened is Bloomberg. So it was some announcement by some government guy, this guy, Jerome Powell, whoever the hell he is. So anyway, this affected the market, and there was a gap up on rates coming down perhaps, and the Fed holding the line. So this was good news to the market, and we had a gap up. A lot of times news gets leaked and the market will trade up before the actual open. Okay, the Autotrader also has a news filter. If you click this button, you should never be at a loss for when there is a news announcement. This window will appear here, and it'll give you the country that the news pertains to and also the impact, whether it's low, medium, or high impact. So for example, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. are the CPI numbers, and the impact is high, so this is a significant announcement, and that's 16 hours from now. If I check this box, then in the entry filters for the Autotrader, under the news here, I can disable trading, say 3 minutes before the announcement. Any open positions will exit before the announcement, and then you can resume trading a number of minutes after the announcement. So these are useful features. You should never get caught not knowing what news events is coming up. This is built into the Autotrader right here. I have some thoughts on money management, and I want to go back and show some clips from some of Jim's videos and show how we might do things differently. One observation is that Jim often looks at a 1-minute chart and determines his levels, but believe me, if you take it up to a 15 or 30-minute chart, you'll very clearly see points of support and resistance. He was talking yesterday, in yesterday's trading, about this particular level here. I believe it was the 77, 78 level, which was right down here. And that was the low of 2 days ago. And that was right here. I drew a trend line here, and the market blew through here. But anyway, these levels are much clearer to see as you go up in time frame. And of course, the BWT volume profile indicator here shows the high and low of the value area and the points to control from the previous day. And you can see these are often key levels. So yesterday, the high and low of the value area was here and here. And notice in the night session, the low of the value area from yesterday, which is here, provided really great support. And that was the point at which the market took off here. And it blew through the high of the value area, and this was today's action here. Anyway, I'm going to have a separate video with some tips and tricks and some ideas on how to improve, your trading. Also note on this 15-minute chart how accurate the BWT precision oscillator is. We'll just use the cross of the zero line as a signal. And so here is cross of the zero line, and we have this move down, and then before the market gapped up, we had this. Before this big bar here, we had the oscillator go up. So this is pretty effective on really any time frame, but on this particular time frame, once again, you can see the effectiveness of the oscillator on these moves. So again, if you confirm this with a level of support or resistance or point of control, high low of the value area, and again I keep speaking about these volume at price levels where these fingers are on the volume profile, such as here. These are lines of these are make it or break it levels, control, support, and resistance in the market. So when you have something like this and this together, that can provide a pretty strong signal. Okay, without further ado, Jim's live trading video.
Good morning, July 10th. Wow. So I have no idea what this is. Obviously, there was some kind of a news announcement or something. But until that point, when I first looked at the market when I woke up. To me, it seemed actually it was sloping down with kind of lower lows here. There was this resistance here at 78.66, and the range was decent to 78.11. But then this, and now I have no idea what to do with it. You know, on the one hand, do I really want to buy into this into this high? I would love to see a retracement down to here. You see this, what used to be resistance, should now act as support right around that 70 area, 78.70. But they look too strong. They might never come down to it. So I might have to work with a different kind of range. So I mean, what can I think of? Well, maybe this range between 78.80 and 79.12. Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure. I might have to just sit on my hands when the market first opens. I love to trade the opening because those are fast moves, especially in the NASDAQ, and that's when the Autotrader shines. The Autotrader loves the volatility. It makes it fairly simple to achieve daily targets very quickly. But in this kind of situation, we might end up consolidating now after this huge move. And if we get a retracement, like I said, right around here, that's too low. 78.40 is not going to work. It was just such an amazing move. So maybe even here, 78.80, maybe. So if I am going to trade the opening, it will be only with the help of the daily filter. I will just let the Autotrader trade both ways, the daily filter. Okay, so we're taking a short. We are below this daily range filter, which starts at 9 o'clock. This is a live account. Yesterday, I forgot to show you that I was trading a live account. But just so you know, every time I'm doing a recording like this, it is with a live account. I never trade on a recording like this with a SIM account. I do have SIM accounts running on other monitors for testing purposes. But when I trade, it is live accounts. All right, so we have a target and then a loss. We are trading below the daily filter, so we are on shorts only. Okay, so now we flip to the long side because we are above the daily range filter. And same story from yesterday. It seems like came within one tick, I think, of filling my first target. And then that happens. Very uneasy trading for me today because, you know, buying into such high numbers is not something I do comfortably. But obviously, the Autotrader has no issue with it. The Autotrader is very comfortable. And here is first target. I do have another live account running on another monitor, which I should have brought here. Okay, we have second target. We're up to 500, and this one, I believe, has, is it 500 or 800? This one might be an $800 daily target. I'm going to put this on pause for a second. I'm going to turn this off for a minute. I don't want to buy again until we do some kind of retracement. These are really high numbers. So, perfect example of, on my own, I would not take this long. It's just, it's just the buying into the high. The Autotrader has no emotions, and it goes purely by objectivity, by what it sees. And as long as price action matches the rules that I established for the Autotrader, it will take a trade. This is not a trade I would have taken. I would hesitate, I would wait. But here we are. Let me see if I can drag the other chart, which I think is done. I think the other chart has a $500. Hold on, let me see if I can drag this over. Okay, so this is the other chart. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Oh, so this one is a $300. This is, okay, so this is the earn to trade account. So this one is a $300 daily target. And I guess after commissions and maybe a bit of slippage, it finished at 266. So this chart is already done. This account is finished. All right, let's review this morning. I made a couple of mistakes, and so the biggest mistake I made was here. This was supposed to be 800 and 800. Maybe I was backtesting with something, I'm not sure. I don't know why this one reads now 500. I never have such a flipped risk reward. It's always at least a 1-to-1 and sometimes better. This was supposed to be 800 and 800. That's why I couldn't understand why the other trader would not take the other long, which would have been a successful trade. And that's because, of course, here it says 500. We gotta fix this. All right, for next time. This one this is the earn to trade, the new earn to trade combine, and it's a fairly small account, so that's why I have it at 300 daily profit and stop loss. And this one hit its goal minus commissions and maybe a bit of slippage. But let's go over the trades. Start with this one first. All right, so 9:30. So first of all, this range starts plotting at 9 o'clock. This daily range filter starts plotting at 9 o'clock, but the session starts at 9:30. So right out of the gate, as soon as we price went below the daily range, clock struck 9:30, and there was a short, and on this short we reached first target and got stopped out on the second half of the position. Then price went above the daily range, and we took a long, right, as it crossed, as the bar closes above the daily range. The precision trend filter exit is disabled, so we stay in a trade, even though the bars turn red. And we hit the first target and second target, which was the 500. Now, if I kept it on 800, which I should have, of course, it would definitely, I think it would have hit the 800 over here. And if not, then, then definitely here. So my mistake, and it cost me money. In general, every time I say, why didn't a trade happen, or why something did not happen that was supposed to happen, it's never the Autotrader's fault. It is always my fault. It's something I overlook, something I screw up, and because this is an extremely reliable piece of software. It will do exactly what it's supposed to do. So if it's not doing something, I always ask, okay, where did I go wrong? I did something I was not supposed to do. And in this case, of course, I, for whatever reason, had the profit target at 500. Okay, so let's now look at the other chart. The other chart had a small profit of 300. So right out of the gate, it took a long. So this one, I think, does have, so it hit first target and was stopped on a second half, because of the precision trend. So I'm guessing on this one, I have the precision trend exit turned on. And then I just took another quick trade and was done, as you can see, within 1 minute. This template was done within 1 minute. As I told you before, everything I trade in front of you is always live. Always live. I do not trade historical chart. I'm not going to show you a chart, say it's live and it's a historical chart. I don't do market replay. This is live. And there is no way to make this configuration panel yellow in the same account. So this leaves just one account that I did not trade yet. So at this point, I'm 2 for 2. 2 accounts hit their targets. And let's see what's going on, what I can possibly do with the third. So the third one is this is the familiar 2-minute precision trend. If you see just, again, the BWT indicators are just phenomenal. Look at this. This one, if you're awake, right before 7 a.m., went long at 78.20. 78.20 and stayed long. 78.20 and stayed long, and here we are at 79.40. So that's over $2,000, well over $2,000 on just one contract. The bounces we were talking about, here was one over here. This was right at the open. So if you were trading the 2-minute precision trend bounce, right here is it tests the volatility stop and just bounces up. Now this happened 78.92, that's 50 points. 50 points from where we are now. That's not $1,000 per contract. It happened before. It happened over here. It happened over here. It happened over here. At this point, I was considering trading it, except price would have to retreat all the way, to retrace all the way to 79.17. So it's a long way away, and I'm not just going to keep this video running for all this time. So I'm going to put the video on pause. If and when price comes back to the volatility stop, and I still feel like trading, it's not too late. It's a beautiful summer day here. I might go for a bike ride. If I'm still around, I will resume the video and try and trade this.